All right, you guys ready?
What are we talking about today?
I don't know.
Just the
I haven't
usual,
thought
just the
about it.
usual. It's fine.
Have we
just go.
watched anything though?
Yeah.
We haven't, have we?
Yeah. I've watched shit.
I don't even know what I've done. Anyway, I'll
I've
go
watched stuff.
in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Vice Press Open Channel, where we get together to talk about the things we've watched, the things we've made, the things we've done. I'm your host, Florey. That's James Henshaw from Vice Press.
Hello.
That's Matthew Ferguson from MatthewFerguson.org. And this week, we don't know what we're talking about. About 5 seconds ago, I was asked the question. I was like, I didn't think about it. So we're just going to probably just go on with, I don't know, what we've been watching, what we've been doing. Who wants to start us off?
Well, the only thing I've watched since I got back from holiday is yours two's recording from last week.
Oh, no. Why'd you do that to yourself?
Yeah, well, I had to re-edit it because apparently IT hates me. I thought you did a really good job. I enjoyed it. It was really strange for me listening back and watching an episode with complete impartiality. Yeah, it was good. It kind of made me wonder, what is my purpose other than to press buttons?
Oh, we wonder that all the time, James. Don't worry.
But no, I did enjoy it. It was a good episode. I think you both did.
Well, you've had the experience of a listener now, you know.
Yeah. You can. I can be added into the centurions of listeners that we have that tune in every week. Please
make sure that you give us a like, James. You'll have to like that video, you know.
Like, I am liked and I'm subscribed.
Look at that.
Check that out. But no, yeah, it was a good episode. I enjoyed it. Well done. Not that you need my approval or condescension in any way.
Well, we just thought we wouldn't have done it at all, but we just thought, well, we're on a roll here, and if we miss 1 week, we're liable to miss 6 months like we did last time. So.
That's why we're doing this with no plan or what to talk about, because we've just got to do it. So we're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just do it, and it's just part of the day. That's like it's become just I don't know. It's a bit of a catch up. I guess that's what the podcast is always supposed to be. It's just a bit of a catch up, and other people can pretend they're sitting in the room. I guess.
Maybe at some point, because Riverside allows you to do this. How would you feel about us having a live audience?
Yeah, great. Do it now. Just send us.
What do you mean a live audience?
People can watch us do this. They can't chip in. They can't say anything, and we can't see them.
We can invite them to
watch us record it.
Yeah,
but after we say like all the racist stuff that we say off camera, right? And then they can come in, and then we can
speak for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, he is Australian.
Famously
racist Australians, you know.
What?
Yeah.
Says the English. Says the English.
Also
Jesus.
Famously racist. That's true. Yeah, traditionally.
Yeah, let's go through we won't do world's most livable city. We'll do who's the most racist.
Which country is the biggest car crash? We've got our mayoral elections this week. Without getting all
gone to the days of Bojo.
Yeah, without getting all political. It's let's hope things change.
But is that mayor? The mayor, like, what? Who gives a like? What are they doing? They're not doing anything.
Mayor of London actually does quite a lot of sway. Yeah,
sway for what though? Like, we're doing this
bikes on the roads and clean up the streets and stuff.
Yeah, like ULEV charges and things. And what they've done, I guess this highlights our naivety a little bit. I think they've kind of trying to do a similar thing across the country where councils, like so many councils, feed into a mayor or something. I don't know.
Huh?
But the way that I kind of look at it is, if they are doing this thing, it's better to have a goodie in rather than a baddie, regardless of what power they've got.
They're all baddies. That's the problem. They're all baddies.
Yeah.
Even the ones that are goodies are baddies. They're just less bad than the out-and-out baddies.
Well, yes, but we need to not play that game. We need to pick sides and make sure that the bad
I'm all for chaos.
Oh, okay, cool. That'll be fun. That'll be a
Okay.
bit of fun with the American elections going on at the end of the year.
Chaos, yeah.
That's gonna be pretty good, isn't it? Eh?
Oh,
4 more years of Trump. For fuck's sake. How can they be doing that again? We probably shouldn't get into this. This is
Anyway,
this
yeah,
is gonna
it's
depress
not-
me.
this doesn't make for good podcasting.
It's just
So-
depressing. State of the world. What have you been
We've
doing,
got
Matthew?
one more episode of Shogun to go before we finish it, and
Oh, I knocked that off.
the penultimate episode was absolutely like we were just like this.
I said to you, I think when I was watching it, I was like, because there's no spoilers. You just say, I'll just be like, yeah, it was good, and you were like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah. I was literally standing up and screaming
Yeah.
at my TV. I was
We
by
were just
myself
like,
in the dark,
What are
screaming
you
at the
doing?
TV.
No, it was
Yeah, it's
so
wild.
good, and I mean, I can sort of guess how it's going to end, but it still was unbelievable.
You know what? I
Wow,
don't think
wow.
you can. Because the last episode was not entirely what I expected, I'll put it that way. But I think it's like one of those shows that, if they keep it at this one season like they say they're going to, because it's an adaptation of a book or whatever.
It's finished, isn't it?
Oh,
Ice
Oh,
cream.
that's
ice
a nice
cream.
little...
Go
Yeah,
get
I'll
an
take
ice
a-
cream, James. Go get an ice cream and have an ice cream.
Go on, we
the
know you
podcast.
want one. I'll take a
I'd love an ice
gelato.
cream.
Give me a rainbow gelato.
Gelato. You going for an
Gelato.
ice cream? You don't want an ice cream? You can have one. I mean, you don't
That's
need my permission to have one.
insane. This is insane talk.
Nat's passing up having an ice cream. Is
Why?
it because it's too
So,
cold?
so English
it's too
Nat, which
cold.
is English James's wife, right? She, for the people out there, famously lives off Skittles and like just like pure sugar straight out the jar. And if she's not getting an ice cream, like this is a hell's frozen over type situation. I'm a
Too
bit
cold, isn't
concerned. Is it?
Yeah, I mean,
I
yeah.
wouldn't know.
It's freezing.
Too
It was
cold.
warm yesterday. I had shorts on yesterday, but it's gone back to cold land.
Yeah, Shogun's good.
Weather chat. So we've done politics, we've done the weather. What else is
Yeah.
really fucking boring? Hey, what do you do for work? give me one of those.
I still haven't watched past to annoy both of you. Onto my iPad, I downloaded every episode of Shogun up until going on holiday. I downloaded the full season of Fallout.
Oh yeah.
And I watched nothing.
Yeah.
I read 6 books though, 6 books in a week. Plowed
Oh.
through them.
Disgusting.
I didn't watch any TV.
Perfectly fine. We
Didn't
we
watch
did Fallout
anything.
last week on the old...
Yeah. And
Sure, it's
X-Men.
good.
X-Men. I've caught up
X-Men's-
with X-Men.
Oh, is there a new one today? I've not
Yeah,
watched.
today. I haven't seen
I've
it
not
yet.
watched it yet. No.
Our
Is it
listeners
good?
will be happy because we're not going to spoil something for them the day it comes out as we
Bastion.
usually do.
Bastion's like a robot, isn't he? Yeah, from the future.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's Nimrod's, if I remember correctly, he's
Oh, it's Nimrod. Okay.
body, but like reworked or something
Yeah.
by Master Mold or something like that.
I'm because I used to read the comics when that was all going on, so I've got vague memories of him being like a robot.
That was back in the Joe Madureira days, right?
It was
When he was
totally
doing the
bonkers.
covers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
They
cool
went
about...
to space.
Sorry, that's the printer.
Mate,
thing.
what is going on there? He's in the middle of a
We're-
factory.
We're a working business. We've got orders to get out.
People
Well,
keep
to
buying
anyone
shit.
who's
I thought I was-
ordered, there you go.
I thought I was working from home today, but I'm not. I'm working from home tomorrow, so I'll have been in my little cave.
I wish
tomorrow.
people would stop buying shit. I do.
I'm not even part. I'm not even
I'm
part of this
tired
company,
it
and I
now.
don't wish that.
I'm gonna retire. I think I'm gonna retire. I've had enough.
Well, do another Star War, maybe you can.
No, I'm not gonna do any more. I'm gonna leave it at those 3 and forget it, and everyone will be like, no.
Oh, wouldn't that be maddening though? That's almost
Yeah.
as worse as when you're collecting like a group of like novels or like hardcover books and they change the spine design and then you just like kill me now.
They do that with Blu-rays all the time with
Oh.
films, all the time. They'll get up to like Star Trek 6 or something, and then just change the spines, and it's just like, why did you do that?
You've ruined my
What-
life.
Oh,
Just
it's
burn
'cause
your house
someone
down
comes
and
in
walk
and
out,
they think
right?
they're going to do a new series or whatever, or I don't know.
It's no, you know what it is, and I've seen this a million times. And look, if you're into marketing, fantastic. I hope you have a great time. But every marketing peanut that comes into it gets a new role. They always go right changes for changes' sake because they've got to justify that they're doing something, and that's what happens every time.
I was thinking, I'm thinking about doing a degree in marketing.
Yeah, I know. You become a marketing peanut.
Don't fucking bother. Marketing. I know more about marketing than any marketing person.
Here we go. What's
That's
this?
marketing. Marketing is this: buy the thing, do as you're told. That's it. You don't need to learn anything.
It's easy to market a Matt Ferguson post, you see, because they're just so desirable. You don't never barely.
It's
need
easy
to, do
to
anything.
market stuff when you mean because I just shout at people until they do as you're told.
Ants.
That's the advert. The ad is going to be me just shouting posters. Well, I want that slow build up because I want them to do the combination. I want 2001, so I want a slow. Slowly panning into me in the middle of an empty warehouse with it's all destroyed, and then it comes up onto my face, and I just go posters, and then that's it.
I can imagine a bit like that Twilight Zone I watched with Burgess Meredith, where he breaks his glasses at the end, and he's just like, it's like the front of a ruined library in a desolate landscape, and it like pans up across the ground and up the steps, and he's just like, posters.
The thing with marketing, right? Here's the truth, the God's honest truth, is if you follow rules and you do what you're being taught at school, then you're not going to do anything new, are you? You're just going to do another flash advert with a remix of a famous song because that was what worked before. But when you're actually creative and you do something different, and you go, actually, you know what? I don't want to make it look like all the other ones. I want it to be this color, or I want that. That's when it's going to take off. But it's hard when people are putting money or down on something to have the courage to do that because they're spending money, so then they become risk averse and it becomes bland and boring and crap.
Yeah,
I mean the same thing can be said for movies, right? That's why so many of them are middle of the road.
The mid-budget movies can sometimes work better because they can take more risks because they've not got all that pressure to do something a certain way.
I think that I do agree with you, and we've been speaking about what we kind of do around vice press marketing and doing some bits and bobs around that.
Screaming posters at people in the street.
Yeah, which I'm up for. We'll do that. Get Amelia to do it. It's fine. We can do that. But what I'm saying is, I think the hardest thing about marketing at the moment, across any medium, across any platform, is just getting the eyes. It's not even necessarily the content. And it's not even necessarily the product. It's getting it in front of the people.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You can't make it happen. It's Field of Dreams. You've got to just build it and then trust that they will come. That's the whole thing with it. You've got to just trust in your own abilities and then let it happen. If it doesn't happen, it wasn't meant to happen. You can't force it. You just can't.
But there has to be a degree of. I
Is it
think
a
there
mix
has to be
of both.
Yeah, you can't just not do anything.
No,
it gets picked up and whether
I just get switched off instantly when something is sort of like tacky or even just an ad. I'm like, oh really? You're selling something to me, are you? Well, I'm not buying it then. Obviously, I'm not like
which is the complete opposite of your the way that you advertise to people.
Well, I just say you better buy it now.
Yeah,
I think it's more about, to me, because like you say, you get turned off to things when you can smell the marketing on it. I like the idea of presenting things to people. So like letting them see it, showing them why it's good, and then being like, and now the choice is yours. Here's the link, and we'll see how it goes.
100%.
If you shove it at them, it's never gonna work.
I 100% agree with you completely, and I think that's one thing that would be good for us to figure out. It's just how you do that in a unique way, in an engaging way.
I think it's a matter of time.
Oh no, I'm saying like things grow and things develop and whatever, but it's kind of like, what we do at the minute. We post stuff online every Tuesday as it comes out and things like that, which is great because you do naturally build a following and cultivate a following. But
It's
then
very structured. To see my first of all straight away thing is just to go. We're posting this on 1 a.m. on Thursday, and then another week we just don't post something, or we post two things. On Sunday.
The only reason we do it that way is so that I can structure my week and I know what I'm doing. So it's not necessarily. Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure it creates anticipation. I mean, it used to, didn't it? Like people used to look forward to in the community, like a sort of Thursday drop or whatever it used to be with Mondo and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
That's because
I don't give a shit.
Whatever it was. But that's because it was so, like, it was more of a limited scene as well. I think, Matt, you're coming from a point of view of a guy with, what do you got, 64,000 Twitter followers or something? Like
78,000.
Oh, sorry, I don't want to
get it right.
Yeah, 1 million. But like that's not. I don't want to say it's not a shortcut. It's a leg up though. So you can just shout into a void when you've already got a larger segment of eyes. Like what's Vice Press got on Twitter? 16,000. So again, like that. Well, that's obviously like a massive drop down. And then I'm sitting there on 9 or something. So I feel like when I get out there to try and say something, it's just nothing. It's just literally nothing. And if I don't
keep
put my best foot forward, I just can't gain. I can't gain traction at this point. Social media is fucked, especially Twitter. Yeah. And it used to be the best place. Now it's the worst. And there's not much you can do about it other than trying to reach out to other outlets as much as you can and I say, make the presentation as the best it can be.
I'd say the algorithms have got out of control for a lot of these social media companies because you can't really post anything.
No.
It just kills it dead if you're actually trying to say something, right? So an example for me would be the recent Planet of the Apes poster I did, which is a free giveaway for Cineworld cinemas, and I did the first post, which was, when it was first posted. Here's the poster, you get it free from Cineworld, and then you do the link, and you do that, and you do da. And it got, a decent amount of likes or whatever, like a couple of thousand likes. And then a few days later, I did one with the original poster next to it, and I just said decisions were made, and that was it. And that one pops off. But then nobody knows that, most people that see that won't know that I made it, because it doesn't say I made this poster.
Every single time.
Shit.
Every single time you just make a flippant post with an image, it gets picked up a lot easier. I don't know why they're doing it. It used to be if you had a link, it was dead. That still happens. Now it's if you put any sort of information or content into a post, like it just doesn't want that. It wants just shit.
It wants just an image or a dumb joke or somebody dancing around like a clown. That's all it seems to want at the moment.
But then there is a disconnect, because I've looked into this for us, for example.
That didn't even
you can automatically assume that, okay, well, because something gets, I don't know, 10,000 likes, that thing is going to sell more or drive more traffic to your website.
No, it doesn't, does it?
But it's not.
No.
Like some of our kind of highest converting stuff is the things that only have 100 or 200 likes, and they're the stuff that kind of have the higher conversion. So just because something likes and pops off, it's great. Don't get me wrong, because that builds followers, and that kind of then goes down.
The majority of those people don't know I did it.
No,
they just see the image and they go, So it's not really genuine. So it's better for the smaller stuff where it's people that actually know and actually care, like you say. And it might not seem like as much, but those people are more. It's like the 30 or 40 people that listen to this. They're the important people.
100%.
Because they're taking time out of their day to listen to us talk shit,
Absolute crap. That's the thing I'm worried about at the moment. Because Jesus Christ.
He's dying, everyone. He's got cancer.
Yeah. That's the last thing you'll hear from him. I've got this toy that I'm working on, right? And I'm like, it's good. I think it's good. I think the idea is good. I think it looks good. I think people would like it. Am I going to be able to show a single person that it's good? I don't know. Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, that's
the hardest part.
Yeah. And it's kind of going back to what you were saying earlier, Florey. The best thing you can do is present it in the best way possible. And like Matt, what you were saying earlier when we were discussing among ourselves on chat, like what you did with your T-Rex, that was brilliant. Yeah. And I think one of the things that I think back more for like Vice Press and you guys as well is that actually you get into a default position, don't you, of showing a JPEG of something and this is coming out and whatever. And it doesn't, and it's great because people that know our product and know what we do, know what the quality is going to be like, know what the end thing is going to be like. But actually what would be more preferential and better for us to do, and like you with your toy that's coming out, is if you have a picture of the thing, the actual thing, in some context, some shape, or form. Well, and I think that's what we need to do more of at Vice Press, is to kind of like, is to show more photographic, more real life stuff. And it's the company that does it best. I know it is work. The thing that me and you agree about on this, Matt, is that Last Exit to Nowhere do that.
Oh,
the T-shirt company,
easily the best.
Incredibly. Rogue Print Co. do it incredibly because they create these fun, viral.
Well, I did have a thought about what I would want to do for the unrolling videos. I want to get like a pair of gorilla hands.
Yeah.
And then the gorilla hands are what open the posters and go.
Yeah. You can do that because I think trying to convince Nat to open those posters with gorilla hand gloves on.
Oh no, this is the thing. I'd have to do it. Yeah, I know.
But yeah, it is. It's time, and it's
It's just tricky because you go, it's time. It's like everyone's stretched thin. You go, yeah, but we should be doing it.
You should prioritize that kind of thing.
Well, do you need a man? This is the thing. Do you need to get someone that just does that stuff?
Point,
do you know what I mean?
We are going to have to get.
You need a marketing man. A marketing peanut.
No. I think the thing that would benefit us at the minute, and again, if anyone listening does this kind of thing and wants to be involved in some way, is it would be cool to be able to take more photographs of the stuff that we do. Like we tried it, I do it. I'm not a very good photographer. I can't get the lighting right. It looks crap. It doesn't look as good as what I'd like it to kind of do when we post on socials. But again,
I think it's because of the environment. I want it all in a factory. I do.
Yeah, it's got a thing about busted ass buildings.
Yeah.
That's
with a wet floor. So there's all nice reflections and stuff, and some neon. Put the neons up in it, and then take the pictures.
Like there's spaces at our office here that are industrial brick walls and stuff. So there's nothing to say we can't clear a little space there.
Well, the problem is like we say time because we are run ragged all the time. Like this week, I've just been shotgunned with mountains of studio work again out of nowhere. It was like,
I think the thing for me, and this is kind of it's interesting to talk about this live because it would be interesting to get folks' feedback and what other people think. Is I think one of the best things we could invest in at the minute is to get somebody to regularly take photographs of new releases as they come in. It doesn't have to be for a poster as it's released on pre-order. When it comes in stock, when it gets printed, when it gets delivered, we can then take those photographs and it kind of then re-energizes it and pushes it through.
As long as they can, whoever it is that does it, can take me telling them it looks shit.
Well, this is where it comes from, giving very clear guidance at the start.
I would do a test one myself and say, this is what I want it to look like. Do that. And anybody
here's the gloves that you have to wear.
Yeah, anybody that's decent would be able to do it, surely.
Yeah.
Anyway. Gorilla gloves is definitely the way to
go. I hate it. He's an idiot. Who listens to this guy? None of us, for sure.
Well, just a full gorilla suit. Gorilla opens posters and he's just like. And then once he's done with it, he screws it up and flips it.
So James, you'll need to add 10% to every print run now because he's going to be out there in his gorilla suit screwing up posters for.
Where do you get a good gorilla suit from? Or would it be better if it was a bad one? You know, if it was like Trading Places level. That'd be pretty fun.
I think right in the middle, just the classic, like what you see in your head. You need that one. You don't want to. You see the marketing for speaking of monkey suits. Do you see the marketing out there for the new Apes film? Where they've got chaps riding around horses. It looks so good.
They've got like people in the sort of chimpanzee outfits riding around horses like Planet of the Apes, just like on the beach and stuff. And
Yeah, it's
really?
awesome.
they just
Yeah,
showed
Venice
up and
Beach
everyone was like,
like a few different places around, like I'm assuming the US or whatever. But yeah, it looks really good.
That's pretty impressive.
To the point where you're like, we maybe just want to put these guys back in suits or what? Like this looks looks really good.
I wonder if they plan to do that over here as well, but because I don't know whether you saw in the news last week, some horses got loose and were riding around trampling folks.
Yeah, he ran into a bus, that guy, the white one.
Yeah, so maybe they kind of thought, ooh, maybe not do that.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I always struggle.
I'd get them to like derelict a building and make it all jungly and stuff, and then have people all in the suits in there.
You just want to buy a factory, don't you?
He just wants to buy a factory. This is all it is. He's mentioned it like 6 times on this episode. I think that's what we titled this. We just titled it "Matt buys a factory," and it's just you standing there.
Well, I mean, the thing is, there's that many. I do look every now and again. Like the guys that run Steamworks, they picked that up, didn't they? They bought that and they're using it for events, and they've got their own businesses and art studios that they also have in there too. So the big main area where we're having the con is a big kind of events venue, but then they've got offices and art studios and other spaces tucked away that they're renting out and hiring out and stuff along those lines.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Next time we move, I'm getting a factory.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not. But the entirety of Sheffield is a derelict factory. The entire thing. Yes. So just grab any building and you're good to go.
That's why I like it so much, because I grew up in here. So I'm just like, I feel at home in a derelict factory.
With a
but then
pile
also,
of bricks.
I ain't driving into the centre of Sheffield every day again. I gave up working in a corporate business to avoid driving into cities.
Well, we don't have to get one in the centre, do we? There's factories everywhere.
No. But yeah, disused factory.
Good chat. All right, so he's bought everything he's ever wanted. Now he's buying a factory. Now that's it. That's it, is it? And then you'll be there because no one will bother you there. No one will want to come to your derelict factory. So you meet your last
I
dream.
can get lots of barbed wire and
landmines.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? I am
no
Legend
entry. Private property is a sign I would love to have.
Keep off grass. Perfect.
You're going to Barton Millhouse it.
Barton Millhouse?
Going to Barton Millhouse it.
Yeah, totally.
Just crumble the fuck down.
I take it we've not got any questions to answer, have we?
That's what I was getting to, because I'm like, well, we're half an hour in. We had no plan, and we've waffled on about how shit marketing is for 25 minutes.
Well, the thing is, marketing isn't shit.
I don't know what's wrong with my fucking
It's
face
like anything. It can be shit, can't it? But when it's good, it's like you just mentioned the apes. Marketing for that is brilliant. So they can do
Smile.
it.
That was a good one. That's another one that came into mind. Remember that horror film Smile, where they just had people that smiled creepy at like sports games and on the tube and all that. That was wild. Good stuff. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's what we need to do. We need to be like out and about, mobile, doing weird shit.
I could have a sandwich board that just says
like Die Hard 3.
Yeah, not quite that bad, but you know,
exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Yeah. I think, yeah, just say posters.
Just in your undies with a gun taped to the back, right?
I'd like to Monty Python it a little bit and it just not make any sense, you know? That would be my dream. It's like
just like this podcast, really.
Yeah, like if I was marketing the convention, I wouldn't say what it was or anything. I'd just do a piece of paper that said, "Don't come."
This is why the Odd Couple of Matt and James works, because Matt says things like that, and then James like books venues and puts out ads things, and people actually come.
I understand the need for it because people need to know the information, but I like the idea of not giving them information or any help whatsoever, and then it's just us in an empty room because nobody turns up. I was saying that, like, if I do another exhibition, that's what I want the advertising to be. It's just the unicorn, no information, maybe a QR code if they're lucky. That's it. And just put posters up wherever I can, and maybe a full-size unicorn somewhere, and not say what it is or why. But now I've said why on this podcast, so at least 30 people are going to know.
I do. It's something that I have often wondered, and I would love to do this. Is I would love, like, everything that we do seems to be it tends to be a compromise between how you want to do it and how I think we should do it, and I think it blends nice in the middle. The chaotic part of me does want to go, you know what? Actually, let's 100%.
Like that.
What's that?
You have a chaotic part.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah,
is that like, we're having bananas on a Wednesday instead of on Tuesday?
Let's hear this chaotic thought. Is it going to be we do one thing my way and we do one thing your way?
No, we just do one of our big things, whatever it may be. We just 100% do fully your idea, because I'd love to know. I would love to know whether like. And again, this isn't a proving me right or wrong thing. This isn't anything egotistical or anything like that. I would just love to know whether you were right.
Well, let's do the ad then. I'm going to do the ad my way. We're going to go to a disused factory and we're going to do the whole thing.
What that sounded like to me is that James is willing to lose like 30 grand on an event just to prove that Matt's way is incorrect.
Well, what happens if like a load of people turn up because they're interested? Because you're not telling them.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Oh, I think that's a real problem because old Mr. Bighead over there will be strutting around.
The way that I look at it, right, is either way, I win.
This is true, but also I can admit it, I'm not always right, but when it comes to these sorts of things, I tend to know what I'm talking about.
You do kind of, what I've kind of learned to do is to kind of look through and actually look at the core of what you're saying. So what you're saying with the marketing, for example, is that actually you want people, there has to be an element of self-discovery in it. And there has to be a huge element of originality in it. But you also understand, even though you're kind of saying you don't blah, blah, this is crap, you also understand that actually there needs to be an element of, it has to be physically put up and it has to be posted. It has to be kind of some element of investment into it too. That's what I like to think. But I think
you've nailed that, because that's how it works with like when we're doing like the artwork on poster stuff. Usually the first comment is you'll either go, ooh, or it'll just be like, it's shit. And then I obviously have a little fit and I'll be like, why are you being a cunt? Like, what's your problem? Like, actually explain yourself. And then a little bit down the track, we get to, well, you know what? If you just change this part, then he gives me the actual, like, the meat of it, you know, but you got to wiggle in there and find it sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
And then there's a nut in there.
Don't like explaining myself. I've never liked explaining myself to anybody. People always want explanations for everything all the time. No. I refuse.
But great.
Yeah.
No, what you like is being brash and pissing people off. That's what you like.
Contrarian and
100%.
But then, like, you dig in there and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I get that, and yes, we should do that. And that's where the explaining yourself thing comes from. And I know you don't like it, but actually, when you do, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that you're spot on.
I feel like we're in the therapy hour now.
Oh
like
no, this is good. I like it. This is one of my favourite things when we talk about these things.
It's good to tell me that I'm smart is the end result of this conversation.
Is that what we were saying? Okay. Yeah. So he's delusional. All right.
You see?
But it is different. Like, look at this Sam Dunn. Right, we've done loads of Jaws posters, right? Loads of Jaws posters, and they're all very good, all brilliant. And then, you know, we've kind of released this one by Sam Dunn, which will be on sale now if it's not sold out or whatever. And it's very different, and me and Matt adore it. It's one of my favourite Jaws posters.
I wouldn't go so far as to say I adore it. I just think it's good.
Could have done with that bit.
Yeah.
Dickhead.
There you go. Sam, I'm sure she'll love to hear that.
It is good.
Yeah, no, it's
really
good.
What I like about it is that it's it's not literal. It's not It's not like it doesn't really make any sense because it's just stuff dotted around. But then it is also drawn in quite like it's a. I don't really know what I'm talking about.
Perfect.
Yep.
Nailed it.
It's just got so many different elements.
I'm sick of posters that I've lost it as well. Jesus.
Well, what it is it's not following any rules.
Hell.
It's not really following any rules that and especially in terms of like the alternative poster scene, which has now got its own set of bloody rules, or film posters in general that do have rules. Because I follow lots of rules with my own posters that I make stuff. And this one, it just doesn't. It's just like, oh, I think that would look nice there, even though it doesn't really make any sense. But it does look nice. So it's like, oh yeah, well that's nice actually. And that's what I like about it, is the fact that it's not following any preconceived bullshit rules.
No.
Well, that's the thing too. If you look at well, we say this a lot. Like back to that, maybe that's not the marketing thing, but like always say like you've got to have the ideal is that someone can come onto the store and be like, "Oh, I'd like a Jaws poster." Someone that knows nothing about anything, and then they can sort of like cruise through and find one, right? So having a breadth of product and of saleable things that don't just sit all in one category, because people like different stuff. Maybe someone wants this more illustrated kind of thing that you've got to sort of dip your face into to find the bits and bobs about it. Some people just want a big fucking shark's mouth that points upwards. I mean, it's a good thing to have all those bases covered, I think.
Yeah.
Right, questions. Do we
not
have
so
any?
literal. I wish I could be like that.
Well, that's the hardest thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but then you have your own.
I always do it. I try to be loose. I try to be illustrative and loose. I'm going to paint this one really loose, and it's going to be really nice and painterly. And then a week later, he goes, "That's a photo, that is it?" And I'm like,
It's become like a running joke, and I almost don't. I'm like, I can see, when you're in your messenger, and it's like, it says, oh, I've just started this one, and I'm like, he's gonna say this one. I'm gonna do this one really loose, and then he's typing, and then the exact sentence comes up because it's the same every single time, and then. But I get it because
it's what I'm striving for. It's what I want, but I can't do it.
Yeah, because I think you get in there and then you just start, I think we're similar in that we want things to be there. And James as well, just obviously not in art, but in the business stuff and just like even all this marketing shit that we're talking about. But you want things to be the best that they can. And if you leave it, is it the best it could be? I don't know. So I think that's what always leads to like just tightening everything up. And shit, it's working for you. It's not, had a dud lately, mate? No. Good chat. Fuck's sake. Well, he's over there. James is looking at for questions because we've got absolutely none. And now he's like, Christ, half this podcast hinges on questions that I didn't look up beforehand. He's over there just poking himself with a pencil.
Right.
I'm here basically dying. Something, I don't know what, I've like swallowed something. It's stuck in my throat.
I've gone weird today.
Here's a question.
Do you think it's because we're like an hour later than usual? I think we're all off. You think? And we have no plan. We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, probably.
Go, James.
We've got a question from Pastridal. I think I'm saying that right. Pastridal.
All right.
Says another fun week. Thanks, guys. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it.
Thanks, champ.
We appreciate you. My question is, what was a present or something you asked your parents for as a young child, that they never got you?
Oh, everything.
Optimus Prime.
You never had a Prime as a child.
This is why I have a problem now.
Yeah, that's it. You had others though, didn't you?
I had a few others, but I got more like second-hand ones and stuff when I was a little bit older, with pocket money and stuff. But like when it was actually time for Transformers, so when I was like 5 or 6, when they were running into the cool Generation 2 ones in here and stuff. I really wanted loads of them, and I only got about 2 or 3 new.
That was the thing for me too. It was like, I mean, look, all three of us, right? None of us grew up with all the shit. We didn't have everything we wanted, I think, but we weren't sitting up here. We was sort of sitting across here somewhere, you know. So there was heaps of stuff that I didn't get, but I think what's interesting about this question is that I really, really, really remember the things that I did get, and that for Transformers, for me, it was I didn't have any of the mainline ones. When I was 5, I blew my eardrums in the pool. I had my tonsils taken out and something else as well, all at the same time. So I was in hospital for like, I don't know. To me, it felt like 14 years, but it was probably like 3 weeks or something like that. And everyone came in, and Mum had obviously all pre-organised it because they're like, oh, what to cheer him up. So they each got me, Matt, you'd remember the 4-pack of, what were they called, Micromasters?
Micromasters,
You get 4 little Transformers, the tiny ones, like this size, that sort of size.
Okay.
And, you know, you get 4 sports cars, 4 army guys, whatever. And I can picture every single one that I got perfectly in my mind still. And those were my Transformers. And so I like to not think about the things I didn't get. You can probably look around this stupid room and you can see the things that I didn't get.
That's the thing. The Optimus Prime was a big one because I loved that movie so much, and I just really wanted it. I can remember just. They never...
What could it have been? And that's the thing too. I think back and I look now and I'm like, what could that have been? £9 at any store?
I remember it was £35.
Whoa, that's quite a lot.
Because it was big, you know, and it was the one that had electronics with it and stuff. They brought it back out, and it's got a black trailer, and it had a voice box on it and stuff.
Oh, so you didn't want the original one?
No, because I wasn't old enough. I was like 1 when the original came out.
True.
So I could have got it second-hand. I had a second-hand Ultra Magnus, but it's when they were new in the box and they were shiny. And I really wanted that.
What didn't I get that I really wanted?
James got everything, didn't you, James?
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
did you?
I was. Yeah, I was. So I am gonna preface this a little bit. So I was spoiled. I was the oldest boy. I was the oldest. And my parents weren't very affluent. They split up when I was about 5. My dad literally was. My dad worked down the pit. My dad was a miner. And everything. So we didn't have a huge amount of money coming in. We lived with my grandma for a bit and things, but never wanted for anything. And we kind of grew up in. So I grew up in the golden age of toys, when the kind of toys hit over here, which was a couple of years later than the US. So I had like all the core, Real Ghostbusters, Action Force, so G.I. Joe was Action Force over here, Thundercats, Turtles. I didn't have many Transformers, so I only had like 1 or 2, and I couldn't tell you which ones they were. It's just Transformers was something that never really resonated with me, and I kind of never really kind of got it as a kid. But stuff like He-Man, so I had all the core He-Man ones, Turtles. Yeah, I was really fortunate. I was really lucky, and my dad looked after them. My dad and I looked after them. He kept all of the boxes, all of the backing cards, everything. He kept everything. So when it got to when me and Nat were looking to buy a house, I sold everything, but I sold it all boxed. Because that was our deposit. I think I got the best part of 15 grand.
Who needs a house? Fuck's sake.
But then you're kind of in a never-ending cycle now to kind of get back. And I have got core bits and bobs back.
Yeah.
And it kind of helps you to do it. But it was really interesting because it's quite funny because my dad didn't waste that money, because I enjoyed those toys, and I played, contrary to what I'm like now, they were heavily played with. I played with toys. I used to do, have pretty wild imagination and things along those lines. So I did all of that, and he kind of invested, and so my dad did help buy the deposit to our house, because it was the stuff that he bought me when I was a kid, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, that helped do that. And really grateful.
So what didn't he get you then?
Again, like Florey, I can't remember. There's nothing that I can ever remember not getting and ever being disappointed about. Like,
I had the disappointment as well when they did get me Transformers. The 2 or 3 times that they did, they take the guns out. Take the guns out.
Yeah,
your parents.
Yeah, there were no guns.
I remember you saying.
I mean, that's fair. We
wild.
practice that now, but like to even know that there was a little, because they look like they're just like little plastic things.
A little hole in the box where it should be, and you're like,
meh.
Yeah.
He's now got finger guns.
But yeah, like my dad was really cool, like with stuff like that. He used to like the Turtles blimp and like the G.I. Joe planes and all that stuff. He used to hang on fishing wire, so it was all like hung from my ceiling and stuff. So
that sounds like a divorced dad to me, because the stuff that Agud's divorced for when like for getting toys and shit, because that dad took it upon himself to be like, I get.
Well, we lived with my dad, so we grew up with my dad.
Oh, okay, right. But like even so, but for us it was like same thing, like 6 years old, split. But and looking back now, I'm like, oh mate, you should not have spent that money. But he had no other way, and it was sort of how his family is. They buy things that don't really talk to each other. So but it was fun as hell back in the day when he was like, all right, and I swore. I knew I wasn't getting, when you've had that thing and they're like, they fool you because you're a stupid ass kid. And they're like, mate, I can't do a Game Boy. We can't do a Game Boy. You can't. And you're like, all right, Dad, that's all right. No worries. And then it's fucking there, and it's fucking Tetris. And then a month later, it's fucking Mortal Kombat. And you're out there on the streets with the kids, and everyone's like, fuck this. And I've still got it there. And that's the thing. I'm like, yeah, those memories they just overshadow anything that I never got for me.
Yeah, I got memories of my dad fixing things for me. So like, making things good. So when I lost Michelangelo's nunchucks, because they didn't, nunchucks are banned in our country.
Yeah,
but they didn't take them out. They didn't take them out of the packet. Anyway, so but I lost them on the day I got them on my birthday. Nunchucks, and my dad made nunchucks out of like 2 little bits of wood and a metal chain that he like screwed together so that I had, and so that was better than the plastic ones because it had an actual chain on it.
That's awesome.
Which was nice of him. And he fixed a transformer for me once. The leg broke off, and he made a brace out of like 2 bits of metal and welded it all together and fixed it so that it still worked, which was nice.
That is cool. Isn't it? Dads, like back in the day, dads were just so much more.
How good were they?
So they just. Yeah, they knew how to fix stuff as well.
Yeah,
I was telling Matt the other day, one of the proudest moments in my adult life. So we got back from holiday, and our boiler wasn't working, so we had no central heating, but the hot water was working. So I managed to figure out what was, using YouTube and stuff. I managed to figure out what was wrong, because I'm not paying it's going to be like a silly cheap part. I'm not going to pay a plumber 250 quid call out fee and then, it might be this, it might not be this. I'll have a go at myself. Worst case scenario. I managed to find out what the problem was, or at least have a good guess. Bought like a 10 quid part, and get the boiler working again, all on my own. Like changed a valve. I couldn't even tell you what the part was called. It's called a synchron. It was a motor. It was a valve. It was the motor on a valve that controls whether it
finally a man.
Yeah, if this were a cartoon, while you were saying that, your house in the background would just explode.
Yeah, but then my uncle's a plumber, right? And I went around to my grandma's, and he was there the other day, and I was like, oh, this, that, and I was like, oh, I was really proud I did this. He was like, straight off, he was like, was it this motor? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, cheers. Thanks. Take it away. But anyway.
Well, that's good, James. I don't know if I told this on this show, but I'm pretty sure I told you guys like before or after that my Mr. Fix-It, well, I don't know, a month ago now. We had the cover that holds, you got above your shower, you got your exhaust fan, right? You got the plastic cover that goes on there. It's held in by like 2 expanding kind of spring-loaded clips. Those just, they're not made to last. It just, one of those blew out. And I was like, you get on the Hammer Barn, reference for the Bluey fans out there, you get on the Hammer Barn site and you're like, yeah, all right, but that's round. Like, it's not going to fit in the thing. I'm like, do I just get a spring? Do I glue this back together? ended up just gluing it to the ceiling. I'm like, fuck it, that's someone else's problem in 10 years' time. Just super glue. Worked perfectly. Now that's a man right there. That's a dad.
That's what you do. I think we were talking about, I don't know whether it was on a podcast or whatever, like my idea of DIY was when we used to rent houses and things and we moved out and we needed to fill holes in the wall, I just used toothpaste because it was white and the walls were white. So I went around filling like all the...
Is the statute of limitations up on that? They're going to track you down? They're like, why does this house have such a minty fresh sort of palette on the nose?
But Matt, you're pretty handy though, Matt. You're pretty... You kind of get stuck into stuff.
I'm really good. My dad taught me all sorts of stuff. I can weld, I used to do all sorts of stuff with him.
Is that why you like what's it called, the repair shop so much? Because it's just what your life, you would prefer your life to be.
Yeah. I can use a lathe. I know how to use a lathe.
Whoa.
Thank you very much.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, I'm rubbish. I'm supposed to go, oh, yay. But those toys are so shit.
Well, let's just see, shall we?
This is a big problem that we have because Hasbro will not stop making... Hang on. Are we allowed to rubbish them, Matt?
No.
Okay. They're pretty good.
So we've got another question. Should we dive into another question?
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
You'll have to edit that out, James.
Okay. Thanks. So this is from...
So we've got another question?
Yeah. You might have... I mean, you could have spotted some of these. So this is from Zambone's Film Emporium.
Good name.
So he's coming to open house on the 8th of June. We'll see you then. Thank you. Question to all three of us. If we could go back in time to see any film on the big screen, what year would it be and what film? That's a good question.
Shit, that's a good question.
1977 Star Wars.
That was my first thing too. I was actually watching a sort of, you fall into these reels or TikToks or whatever you're doing. And there was one the other day that was just like, a news reel of when it opened in Pasadena, California. And it was just fucking mental. People everywhere, people waiting for 6 hours to see it and whatever screen they could and all this sort of stuff. And back then, like, they're just like, yeah, we've heard about it. We hear, like, one of my mates has seen it. He said it was good. And they have no idea what they're in for, kind of thing. And it's just like, what a time to be alive. You just rang up the hotline and Kramer on the other end told you what time it might be on. And then you're off to the multiplex. I think that would have to be the one. If I had to give a different answer, like maybe seeing Alien when it came out, but that would be pretty fucking wild.
This was like, ooh! Hey, tell you what, it's good.
There's a little chunks to it.
It's actually good.
Show us the back of his legs. How shit are they?
Very retro.
See, come on.
Fine.
Okay, we're happy.
Yeah, feels good in hand. That same plastic as Ultra Magnus. That different plastic.
Oh, now that is something.
Hey, wait a minute. He's got butterfly joints. He has.
Oh my.
Oh goodness.
Is this it? They can get that plastic in red and blue, but they can't
it
get it in anything
feels
else.
like really good quality plastic.
Shockingly
Yeah,
good
well,
on that Ultra Magnus. Oh, we're not even talking about this thing. James, what about you? It'd have to be Ghostbusters, wouldn't it?
Well, I was thinking about it. So I've been thinking about this while you're on about it. I don't know. For me, to answer it a little bit differently, I'd want to go back and see something and just recapture the magic of what I originally... Like going back to seeing when I first saw Jurassic Park at the cinema.
Oh, so your memory of it. Yeah. I can just remember doing that.
But would you, if depending on what like rules we're doing, would you want to go to the cinema you sat in and like sit up the back as a man, or would you want to go back into your Freaky Friday style body and just be there for the 2 hours?
So I'd like to. So both. So I think.
Well, that's not possible, unfortunately.
No.
Either
this magical scenario, you can have one of it.
Yeah.
No, like erase all memory of it happening and just kind of be in that moment again, and that kind of, I guess, that pure joy. But something I've often felt like one of the most nostalgic things is the cinema that I used to go to in Doncaster. It was a Warner Brothers cinema at the time when it first opened, and it was it seemed huge. It had an arcade in there. It had like the popcorn thing in the middle, and it was just anything. Like when you look at a retro American version of what a cinema was, it just was like that. And just that feeling, I would love to be able to walk in. And before you got into the cinema, you had to walk through the ticket booth, so you had to buy your ticket to get into the cinema. I'd give anything to be able to go back to that cinema. As it's still open. The cinema's open. It's owned by View now, but it's been remodeled and refurbished, and it's kind of neutered. I'd love to go back and.
I think James is fast approaching 40, and
something's happening.
He's getting nostalgic for the times of old.
The good old days.
I would like those big event ones. So your Star Wars, or ones where it just captured, and you hear about, like, because my dad obviously went to see Star Wars when it came out, and he said, "Oh, it was amazing." He said Alien as well. I remember him telling me that when they went to see Alien, they had to stand up in the aisle because it was so packed. And he just was absolutely blown away. And I was like, "Oh man!"
See, for my one,
that's lining up and waiting to get in, and then you see that, and you see the chest burster for the first time.
I'm hanging around. That's what I'm doing. Like I don't know what I'm breaking the bracelet. I'm like parking the car. I'm going back for Star Wars. Then I'm just living until 1982. So I'm gonna go I'm gonna go to Alien, and I'm gonna wait for the thing, and I'm just gonna do Star Wars, Alien thing, and whatever else in between, and just like live.
Imagine like Tron, going to see Tron for the first time, and no one'd ever experienced anything that looks like that. You'd just be like, "What the hell am I looking at?"
Yeah. Guys,
it's such a loaded question, that one, isn't it? Because you can interpret it in so many different ways.
Like, and there's some that I remember that like maybe, and this example I'm about to give does not really fit what I'm about to say, but like maybe they're not the all-timers, but for me personally, I remember them. So like Lion King was fucking massive, and I will never forget that opening to that in the cinema, and then the big boom, and just like Jurassic Park, obviously. Independence Day was massive because no one had any idea what it was. It was put out as like ID4, and we're like, is this the fourth one to something we don't know about? Like July 4, we had no real concept of what that meant anyway. So even
Matrix. The run-up to the Matrix, that was exciting because everyone was like, what the hell is this? Because that's just all they advertise it as is, what is the Matrix? And we were all like, what is the Matrix?
They are re-releasing that. I think I'm going to go and watch that at cinema, because I never saw that at the cinema. I had to wait and buy it on VHS.
It holds up, that movie. It's a really good movie.
Go and watch that one, I think. I bought that on VHS in Boots. That's a chemist, Florey.
That's the first DVD I ever bought. The first DVD I ever bought was The Matrix.
Was it?
Really? That's a hell of a DVD.
It'd have been 1999 or 2000 when I got it.
Yeah, it sounds about right. What was the first DVD you ever bought, Florey?
Oh, I wouldn't even be able to tell you. Probably something terrible. What I do remember though is saving up and paying off over time. I've still got it. I could get it if I could be bothered. I must have been was it teenager, something, 16 maybe, and I didn't really have a job, so it took a long time to pay off. But the complete, at the time, set of the Nightmare on Elm Street films in this kind of like big box that like all folds out.
They used to do stuff like that, yeah.
When they used to do like insane like big sets with like,
I've still got this.
Oh yeah, that's something. That's nice.
That's cool.
But it's shit like that.
That's really nice.
Yeah, same. Do you remember that big giant alien head they did with the alien?
Yeah.
It was in a head. Yeah. Did you get that in Australia?
We probably had that, or I remember seeing it, but a lot of the times it's like localized stuff, so ours would be a bit shitter.
The discs all went in the thing, didn't they?
Nuts. That stuff was a bridge too far for me. I like it just to be. To me, some
Classy
of the best ones are like the extended editions of the Lord of the Rings, like those nice, that just look like leather-bound
books. Yeah.
I had all those. I don't even know if I watched the last one because I'm like, I can't commit 6 hours of my young life to this film about these little people. But no,
They're getting re-released in cinema, aren't they? The extended cuts.
I think there's a lot of re-releases. Some of them we don't get. We are getting Star Wars. I would have taken. I would have taken the kids, but I think just to episode 1 probably. But they're only showing them as it's like $130 ticket because it's the whole thing. Yeah, it's great.
They're not doing Phantom Menace on its own, though.
No, I don't think so. Not at the one that I could see. It's you've got to buy in for the day long kind of marathon thing. And it's like, we could just leave, but I'm not paying fucking $400 for 3 tickets.
That's mad.
That's out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Well, the first DVD I ever bought was What Lies Beneath.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Okay. Which is
I know what the
Harrison
second
Ford,
was.
Michelle Pfeiffer joint.
Yeah.
My second was Dark Star, John Carpenter's Dark Star.
Oh,
really?
You know what it might have been?
Rocking them.
It was either. I feel like these might have been like joint purchases with my brothers. Either Old School, Will Ferrell, or like Napoleon Dynamite or something. Those would be DVDs in our house.
That's a bit later, though, isn't it? That's later.
I don't know. That's why I'm kind of. I don't think they were the first ones, but I'm like, those are 2 purchases that, and those were discs that just got played till they died, kind of thing. Because we could agree on that situation, like putting those on. It's why I've seen Kindergarten Cop 4,000 times. Because as a kid, that was my youngest brother's favorite movie. Just have those movies in your house that are just like, why? We had Speed on VHS. That was massive.
Free Willy was one of the ones we had.
Yeah, we also had that. We had We're Back, a Dinosaur Story.
Yeah.
Why?
Gosh.
Who knows?
It's amazing.
They used to give them away with videos as well, didn't they? Like when you got the machine. So we got E.T. with the machine. And I think
that's a good one.
Everybody that got a machine that year got E.T. with it. So
you wondered
E.T.
too,
must have been one of the most watched ones.
Yeah, did that keep ET going for a decade? And now, because they're not doing that sort of shit, that's why this stuff's disappearing. No one's watching it. Just a travesty.
People can watch whatever they want now, though, so they can choose, can't they, to watch crap instead of what's in front of them.
They can, but there's also that problem that they just don't. Everyone's sort of stuck. They can't get past the blading through endless bullshit to actually watch something. They've got to put that. I don't know. Maybe there is a feature on some of the streamers, but just put a thing that's it's 3 questions. It's like, how do you feel? I'm depressed. I'm in a good mood. How much time have you got? 3 just simple questions, and it just puts a film on for you. I want to feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a Friday night movie on a Friday night and don't tell me what it's going to be. Like the other night, I think I said this, we were messaging back and forth about something else. I was like, oh shit, Blown Away just came on the TV. I just had the telly on in the background and Blown Away came on. I'm like, yeah, I'll watch half of this. Absolutely.
You'd never choose to watch it if you had all the, would you? But then when it's just there, you do put it on, you go,
then Jeff Bridges and old mate.
The trick we've got is there's no choice. So we have a season. We do seasons, so we did Schwarzenegger season when we watched every movie, including the crap ones, and then Tom Cruise season where you watch every movie, and you've got no choice in the matter because you're doing it, That's a good way. I like to do it like that.
Yeah, I quite like. There's a series of podcasts I follow along with called In Review on Kind of Funny, and they'll do it's one of the reasons I think the Weekly Planet Caravan of Garbage, they do it as well. They're doing the Mad Max thing. It's that's a good excuse. There's a new one coming out. I'll watch all 4 of those over the course of a couple of days. I do like that because it makes you put something on. A lot of times I just can't be bothered. There's too much, or I'm not in the mood. I don't know. I love watching films, but sometimes I can't watch a film.
Yeah. I'm with Matt. I think when you take away that element of choice, because there's times when, like the other day, I was like, I was like, I really can't be asked to watch X-Men '97, but I'm like, I need to because I need to figure out see what's happened. But I put it on, and as soon as I put it on, like I
Well,
bashed
this
through
is a
the
good
3
thing about
episodes
this
I've not seen.
podcast.
Like,
When we set a film for us to watch and our viewers to watch, or a TV show, so maybe that should be our new. Bring that back again, that new tradition, and we actually do it. So let's choose a movie that all 3 of us watch, and we have to watch before next.
Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Obviously, we've
It's not happening. I'm watching Thunderball.
I'm watching Rollerball.
Yeah. Tropic Thunder. I'll watch that. Yeah. Why
Or we
not?
put it to them. Put it to the people that are listening, and they choose for us.
That's an interesting question,
isn't it?
Idea. Oh, I hate it.
So
I don't want to be told what to do.
No choice in the matter whatsoever. But then we have to watch something that gets voted up by them, and we've got no choice.
I could go for a Matt Ferguson poll that has like 5 predetermined options at least that we've put on there, and they choose.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That'd be all right. Like maybe they can choose which
post it
alien we watch before Alien Romulus. You know.
Oh, we just watched Alien this weekend because I got the 4K. Man, that is the 4K remaster on the first Alien.
is it good?
Is unbelievable. It is so, and I'm going to do Aliens, which is apparently weird because he's got rid of all the noise. But Alien is just perfect. I mean, it looks absolutely incredible in 4K and HDR when it kicks in. Woof.
All right, in November when I'm over, can we watch something at your house in proper 4K? Because you're always telling me all my shit sucks because I don't use discs.
You've got 4K, haven't you?
Yeah, but I don't use discs, so it's like it's streaming 4K.
If you've got Dolby Vision, it's basically the same.
Yeah, but he just doesn't want me to come to his house. This is it.
No.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Florey, I've got 4K TV and a 4K player.
But your fucking TV is like 30 inches, mate. What am I supposed to do with that? That's like a fucking post. My monitor's bigger than that.
We could do like Dune or something because I bet that's going to
48
But then we've seen that in the cinema. It's better to see an old movie that you used to, I think, on like video or whatever, because we used to seeing Alien 4-3 on video. So then when you see it like that, it was just like, even compared to the Blu-ray, it looked better than the Blu-ray. I was like,
speaking of DVDs, that reminds me of something. I think it was, like when DVDs came in and you're like, oh, these look better, hey. But you forget how much better they actually look than VHS. Obviously not our VHSs. Our VHSs are tip top. But the VHS you had that was like been beaten to death for like however long. And we were watching we wanted to go through the Chucky films. And we'd hired them on DVD, but Bride of Chucky wasn't available or something. But we had the VHS was around, so we're like, oh well, we'll just switch back to VHS because at that time we were just in it, So we had, I think we watched 1 and 2 and didn't watch 3, but we were going to go to 4. So we put the VHS in for 4. And it was like unwatchable. Like you could just never go back. It was insane what we used to think was just perfectly fine.
Yeah. So what's on the poll then? What should we put on the film poll? Aliens?
Aliens, because I've not watched that one and I've got that on 4K. That's
Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. No, I've already watched it now.
Well, let's write this down.
Yeah.
Let's write this down so we don't forget. All right, so Aliens.
Matrix.
James. I've just watched that recently, but yeah.
But Matrix, no, we should watch Matrix Resurrections, the fourth one.
I'm not watching.
Aliens, there has to be bad options on there, right?
Mad Max.
Hang on, no, we have to think about this because there's got to be some sort of like we need.
I was going to watch Psycho Gorman maybe because I've not seen it yet.
I don't know what that means.
It's like, yeah, I've been meaning to watch it.
What are you talking about?
Look up the trailer for Psycho Gorman, and you're like, okay, yeah, I want to watch that.
Psycho Gorman. How have I never heard? There's not often a film that I've never heard of.
Look at it up now. Basically, Psycho Gorman is an alien killing machine.
Oh, this guy he looks like the Creeper, yeah.
And the little girl basically controls him by mistake.
Gorman.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's on Prime.
So what options we got so far?
Citizen Kane.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it.
Well, let's put it on because I have. It's really good.
Now we should probably check if these are readily available too.
Well, you might have to rent it or something.
Ugh, I don't. I don't pay
I
for
rent shit all the
movies.
time. I don't care.
Yeah, well, some of us have a tax debt, mate.
I've got Citizen Kane anyway on Blu-ray somewhere.
Could we do it so that you point a camera at your 4K HDR television? We all just watch it in about 480p. That'd be good.
Well,
Should
you
we
know
take
what we
Saito Gorman off, or are we leaving that on? Because it's quite random, isn't it?
Like, well, I'm going to say this, right? This was my idea, but I hate this right now. I don't want to watch any of this. I don't feel like I'm going to be forced to watch. They're going to pick whatever the worst option is. I think it should be that it's like it's a thematic thing. So it's like we've got new films coming out, so it needs to be before Alien Romulus. Which Alien film do we watch? Before Mad Max,
Apes.
which Mad Max do we watch? Before Apes, which Apes do we watch? And they'll make us watch. They'll make. I would like
Let's
to
do
actually-
Apes.
Yeah,
Let's
do
say
apes.
which apes though, and then we'll put the list of all the apes on. Not Tim Burton one. We'll leave that one off.
not Tim Burton, but also this is my caveat, and see if it, like maybe this, because we've all seen the three that this is a sequel to, right?
Yeah,
Plenty of
multiple
times.
times.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
let's not put those on. I want it to be one of the originals.
I would like to
Let's put 2,
watch
3,
it.
4, 5, and 6 on there, but not the first one.
I would like Escape from the Planet of the Apes, which is the one where they go to present day and it's like a 70s caper with them, the two chimps.
Oh,
That
maybe
is-
we should just watch
I love
that,
that one.
'cause
I love
I've never
that one
seen
so
any
much.
of them. I've only seen
Have
the
you
first
not?
one.
It's like basically like an episode of Columbo, but the chimps, because it's the 70s, right? And they become media darlings, so then they like take them to shops and stuff, and they're like buying them clothes and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, the chimps talk is really funny."
Should we just watch this then? Because that sounds like I have to see that now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, again,
we
it's
can't
not going
break
to be
our-
available.
we can't break our own rule
Break
and
our
our
own
new,
rules.
like and a new kind of feature on the very first one.
Okay.
Well, the second one's good as well, with the crazy people underground that worship a nuclear bomb, and they want to, that one's pretty good.
Personally, I'd say bang them all on there and just see what people
Okay,
want us to
apes.
watch.
So we're going to do apes as a poll.
Are you just
Yeah.
going to write the word apes?
Literally written apes.
And in 4 days' time, you're going to see that and be like, "Why did I write down apes?" Apes?
So what we do? Where are we doing that poll? Are we doing it on? Are you
Well,
going to do it?
He's got his
Matt, and
Twitter
then
there, yeah.
Yeah,
But do we not want the attention on Vice Press?
We'll do it on Vice Press then, and you share it as
Yeah.
well. And do that, and we'll do
I
that
hate
for
this. Why have I done this to
recording.
myself? This is
Recording
horrible.
next Tuesday, so we'll watch that.
and then we'll do that each week when there's something that's in the zeitgeist. For example, if X-Men 97's in the zeitgeist again, we go, which X-Men movie do we watch?
Oh, God. That's when I'll actually quit and you'll never hear from me again.
They'll choose Apocalypse, won't they? They'll choose Apocalypse. And we're like,
I'm
I was
into
thinking,
this.
is there
You
any
know
of
what we
those-
could do actually with this shit is also make these watch-alongs if we really want to get silly.
oh, that sounds like a lot of hard work.
That sounds like you having to sit through.
Well, we can do
Lunch.
that quite easily because we can do that on Riverside on this, and we can all just have a separate screen. So it should be relatively easy.
I'm not
to do
opposed to it.
Well, we've been on here for more than 2 hours now, nearly. So what's
That's
the
right.
difference?
We do it anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
that was
geez, we've
then a
gone
separate.
long.
That's a separate thing to podcast then.
Yeah, we'll
So
do
we're not-
that separately.
How about we have this production meeting after we end this current podcast that we're in?
Yeah.
Because we're now at an hour and 12 and we've talked about
People
absolutely
are
nothing.
People are just
And
going to
I
be
am.
like, "What is the?"
Busting for a piss.
All
yeah,
right.
I've got
Well,
work. I've got work to do as well.
Let's wrap it up. James, is there anything businessy business that you need to mention before we end the old potty C?
Nope.
Nope. Great. All right. Well, that'll do us for this week, as we've previously mentioned. We all need to eat and piss. So we're out of here. And we'll see you next week. Possibly with apes to talk about.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.